how is it? How do we keep the faith, and I'll call it following our North Star? How do we find the courage to follow our North Star and not get bumped off the track?
I think that's a really good question because, I mean, I know personally and in working with people, I think we all go through periods of doubt. And I feel that if I didn't have supportive people in my life that helped me through those times, I mean, I could see how people that don't have as much will as I have, because it takes a lot of courage and will to keep going, that I would fall off the bus, so to speak. And that's what people do, is they'll collapse into their doubt instead of going forward. And again, that's why I really advocate having someone or others in your life that are helping you with these things so that you don't just give up. Because that is the tendency of human nature to, if we have these big roadblocks inside of us, that will just collapse into the roadblock because we don't have enough faith in ourselves to know. And I look at people in life who have been so incredible. Nelson Mandela being my favorite hero of all. He's such an example because he was so open about his life and who he was before he went to prison. And it's a perfect example of how his imprisonment and what he did with it is what made him become the man that he was. And he said that if he hadn't gone to prison, well, he probably would have died in the streets with the other people that were rebelling, that he had to face himself and never give up and face his issues. And so he became who he was by being imprisoned. And I believe we're all imprisoned in our own programming in our brain. And he liberated himself. But what's fascinating about him is he's an example of someone who had a dream, obviously, for South Africa to be liberated, and he never gave his dream up, even though he was in prison and for a life sentence. I mean, it wasn't like he had hope that one day he would get out and, be able to do something. It was that he was never going to get out, but what he did is he worked on himself and he faced his fears and he stood up for himself in various ways, even though he was afraid at certain times. And he never gave his dream up. And the most interesting thing is how the Afrikaners came to him and got him out of jail. And that's what I really believe, that if we don't give up on ourselves and we hold our dream, opportunities will find you. It's not you going out and making them happen. It is you making them happen, but on another level. So if you just think about his story and how they came to him, they got him out of jail, and he became president. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And so that's what we have to do, I think, is never give up and always hold our dream and do whatever we can do, unravel or unfold ourselves and where we're blocked.